Ladies and gentlemen, the topic of today's video is living and not learning. One of my friends, Amir, he said something about people like to live life but not learn anything. And that low-key hit because me and my great gentleman here, Makai, sometimes we like to live life, we have our buffoonery, but we don't learn from those experiences. And that's something that I want to get better at. And why I want to get better at that is because life throws a lot of curveballs, as they may say, and sometimes those curveballs can teach you things. Sometimes those curveballs can fuck you over. But the thing about those curveballs is you got to learn how to hit them. The thing Amir said that stuck with me immediately was living your life and trying to take two things from like each experience you go through and like learning from them. So say a situation that I went through with a girl. She was, what would be a great word? Toxic?
Yeah.
She showed toxic traits at the beginning, and I was too, like, dumbfounded and, like, what's the word? Like, set on something? Like, determined? Like, you want to see something so good happen from something?
Delusional.
Yes, delusional.
Word, but that's what you were, you know?
Yeah, but, like, you go through delusion, seeing red flags. What?
Rose-tinted sunglasses.
That's the word. Or that's the thing. Like, going through that experience with those values of, oh, she showed, like, oh, this girl goes to the club, this girl likes to drink, she likes to do all this shit. That's usually, like, a red flag. And I was too, like, dumb. That was just, like, the basics of it. There was more to it, but I don't want to, like, dox this female. Yeah. Like, nothing against her or whatever. It was just, I was so keen on the good things that I ignored all of the bad things in that relationship. So,
because like the main thing that you still struggle to learn is what's it called, that you're living for the short and not for the long time. With that type of situation, you only saw the red flags. You're like, she's fun. Like, this won't affect me in the long term when it could have, you know?
Yeah. And thank God for Makai and Noah that I'm trying to, like, better myself in those senses. Like, just coasting through life. I don't want to coast through life because that's boring. As my other few videos have said, take risks, do what you want to do, and don't give a fuck. And that's something that I struggle with. I give a fuck too much about what other people think, and everybody tells me around me, don't give a fuck about what others think. It's not the biggest deal. Their opinion doesn't matter. They wouldn't be hating on you if you weren't doing something right. That type of deal. And yes, that's true at the end of the day, but sometimes you just can't get that out of your head, and it fucks with you mentally, and then you don't, like, live life how you want. You always live your life just shallowed and shattered and scared. And that's recently how I've been living my life, and that's what I'm trying to, like, better at doing. I live life not scared, but I live life on edge in a good way. On edge as in, like, will I do if I do this, what will happen? If I do this, who will judge me? That type of deal. And that's something that Makai has gotten way better at doing.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. You know, because I've talked to someone recently, and, like, it's because, like, when I went home, like, I saw, like, all my old friends and whatnot, and when I was talking to one of my old friends, they were reminding me that, like, we only have one life, and we really can't act like we have so many. We can't live like we have another 27 to just go through, you know? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try this on the next run, you know? It's, like, very, like, obvious when you say, like, duh, like, you fucking die after your life is over, and there's probably not, I don't know what you believe in, but, you know, this life that you get, that's it. It could be something else, whatever, but, like, in this moment, you have to take more risk, because you're gonna regret it when you're fucking 87, and you're like, damn, bro, when I was 20 in my prime, or 30 or whatever, I should have did what I wanted. Like, I don't know why I was so afraid about what other people thought, or what these insignificant people, you know, what that seem very significant, but they really aren't in the long term, you know. They're just keeping you stuck when you could really just be living your best life, having fun, having no regrets, but you're afraid, you know. I mean, fear always comes from the unknown, so it makes sense that, like, you're afraid of, like, to do something that you don't know, because, like, obviously it's a risk. You don't know if it's going to work out or not. It could backfire, but who cares, you know? If someone genuinely cares that much, that means they have nothing left in their life to actually care about that's worth of importance, to just turn around and be like, hey, look at that guy. Well, why don't you focus on your own? That means you're not doing anything. You're a loser, you know?
He's right. live one life like you have none to live. Like as Makai and I said, live life doing what you want. And I know it may be hard to not give a fuck about what people think. Same thing that happened with the music, but I ended up getting past that. Like my roommate, he makes fun of me for everything that I make, but at the end of the day, all my people around me, they're proud of what I'm doing, and they're proud of like who I've became. So I can't let what he says to me get in my head and just like chew me up, because at the end of the day, he's not a long-term thing. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna forget about it in like 2 months, literally.
Exactly. The one thing I do want to say, the best version of yourself is you having fun and living who you are to the fullest. The best version of yourself isn't who you make yourself out to be to appease other people. That's some fuck shit, you know? That's someone who's fake and shallow, who doesn't actually exist truthfully to the heart, to the soul. And to the real people who actually see you for who you are, they're not gonna want to be around you to share that real energy with you, because you're not really being yourself. You're afraid. So why would, you know, someone who is truthfully living their entire being, like who they are and proud of it, want to share that energy with that sad, you know, person that's recluse? You have to live your life being who you are, happiest to the fullest, truthfully embodying like who your soul is in order to get the best out of life. And like, if you're not doing that, then what are you here doing?
Damn. Yeah, well, thanks for watching. Peace.